evening, isn't it?
They send the ruler of the House of Ballads to serve me? What form of unnatural mortal game is this? Why are you here? Me? Well, my seniority dictates that I should be leading this procession, but my lame leg prevents me from taking my rightful place. I should bring up the rear. I will make it to Tartarean's throne, even if I have to crawl. Great Huntress Heartwen should go first, leading us all. She's particularly like that. I would hate to anger her. I have seen more days than any of the others combined, and I'm slow because of it. I will watch from the back, thank you very much. Of course. In what way do you wish to pester me now, Dustling? Or must I address you as your grace? Of course.
Pretty evening, isn't it?
Mortals welcome. What may I do for you, Your Grace? I am always ready to serve the sage-crafting needs of the House of Ballads. This is where those who seek an audience with the Summer Court must first make their claim. And once that claim is honored, I will prepare them for reception. The Fae fulfill roles in the telling, be it king or steward. If one wishes to ascend the heavens, one must abide by the laws of nature. I am the attendant of the court's list, and the lady of receivership. I am trained in all aspects of courtly customs and stand 12th closest advisor to the High King. Access to this sacred place, to be near us. Yet here you all are, and I rarely see a single mortal in the understyle. What do they fear, I wonder? Do visit me again.
I await news from the Hall of Appointments, but surely you aren't their messenger. The ruler of the House of Ballads serves no one. Order? I care nothing for order. It is the others who insist on such foolishness and frippery. However, if you are the one who determines such things, may I ask that you place me behind the warlord Wenery? I enjoy watching her backside travel. It would be best if Garnet trails far behind Great Huntress Heartwen. Once at each other's throats, those two are difficult to tear apart. Remember, behind Lady Wenery. Always a pleasure. I am at your service, fleshy master.
Members of the Scholia. These are dark times.
Welcome to the Issa Chapter House of the Scholia Arcana. How may I be of assistance? As a docent of the Scholia Arcana, my duties involve handling all tasks necessary for the day-to-day administration of the Order's affairs in Issa. Despite Jorum's frustrations, the wild magic of the Fae can be channeled in the most extraordinary ways. It is a great honor for us to be granted a place among them. The Issa chapter is but a small branch of our larger Rathir chapter in the plains of Erethel. We focus more on researching the magics of the Fae and Dalentar than pure instruction. We are a collective of mages, and those that have a mind to unravel the ethereal phenomena of these Feylands and beyond. We are an order of magic practitioners dedicated to the fostering of knowledge regarding all things mystical and arcane. While the heart of our power lies in Rathir, we keep an embassy here in Issa to maintain strong relations with the Fae. Traditionally, our applicants undergo years of preparation, but we understand your circumstances are somewhat irregular. Ever since you entered the city, we've been watching you. After all, an endorsement from Niralim is not quickly dismissed. If it is your wish to join our order, you must first complete the trial of initiation. It is a ritual that will better equip us to understand what place you might have among us. I will not lie. Some do not survive the ordeal. Of those who do, only a select few are chosen to become members of our order. Then first I shall present you with this. It is the story of the Order's founding and a good primer for all who wish to join our ranks. Now I shall summon the circle of mages necessary to perform the ritual. Savant Engar will lead the trial. Speak to him in the Delving Hall when you're ready to begin. It is not for me to divulge the details of the trial. I can only advise that you do not take the risk lightly. We are a society of mages dedicated to the study of magic. Is to read on the founding of the Scholia Arcana. Farewell.
Well, happy to see an unfamiliar face. Scholia Arcana's close-knitted enough without being sequestered in Issa. Didn't know the Fae had cities, or whatever you might call this, until I came out here. I can understand why they wouldn't want to share it, though. I love the Order. Never felt more at home than among my peers. But I only wish there were more of us. If you do enough good works, the Scholia sends you to Issa. Apparently, they're keen on learning some of the magics of the Fae. Stop by again.
Damn quiet, damn fools. I'm sorry, friend, I didn't see you there. I'm afraid I'm a bit concerned. I'm an experienced sagecrafter. My skills as a mage leave much to be desired, but no one knows stones like I do. The finest practitioners of the arcane crafts on the continent can be found within the Order. There are many things we have learned from our time with the Fae, though their magic is quite unlike ours. A few nights ago, I was the victim of an attempted robbery. Someone sought to steal a gem of mine from a chest I warded myself. That night, 3 initiates fled the chapter. Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. I suspect they were somehow involved. They could only have run into the She. Can you find them? Someone attempted to steal a valuable gem from me, and on the very same evening, 3 of our initiates disappeared. Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. They're somehow involved in the attempted theft, and at the very least, in danger while on the She. Thank you. Find out what happened and I'll be grateful. You've got to find them. They're somewhere in the She, I'm sure of it. There's 3 of them. Cassera, Bertrand, and Aloran. They must be in the She. Find them there. Don't be a stranger.
Hello. The Issa chapter is focused more on researching the magics of the Fae. The Rathia chapter is the true heart of the Scholia.
Don't know if we've had the pleasure. I'm the finest merchant in these parts, I assure you. When I first arrived here at the instruction of the Order, I was terrified of the Fae. They are nothing like us. You can't just have a group of book-minded mages and expect the organization to take care of itself. They rely on people to look after the logistics, like me. Can't say that I have much in the way of magical ability, but I know trade better than anyone else here, and they appreciate it here. Come back anytime.
Pretty evening, isn't it?
Good. You've come. I'm sorry to make you wait like this, but what I mean to discuss is very sensitive. It involves treachery. She is no politician. She is a warlord, and a cruel one. I've heard stories that would make your heart brittle. She was sent here for one reason alone, to bring down Issa. Despite the calm you see around you, the gardens of Issa are on the brink of war, and the question is, which one will it be? There are plans being made to seize this city. The Varani are displeased with the Court of Summer's lack of support for their people, and they wish to overthrow Tatarian and force the remaining Fae to fight. We can prevent this, but we must act now. If saving your people isn't enough, we can pay you as a reward. The Varani cannot stomach Tatarian's neutrality. They believe that his Fae subjects could be convinced to march with us on the battlefield. I believe this as well, but I would never resort violence. The Varani wish to turn Issa into a military camp. We cannot let that happen. It will ruin all our people have achieved here. Of course, it is the right thing to do. The leader of the plot is the Varani ambassador, Kirna Brenner. Every night, the ambassador strolls Memory Walk, alone. She carries a pair of daggers. Take them. Afterwards, dispose of them. Destroy them. Salvage them. I don't care. Return to me when it is done. The Varani communicate secretly using weapons. They engrave codes into the blades of daggers and swords, and that way, they can get them through a typical search. We believe this particular pair of daggers describes the defenses of Issa, where it's strong and where it's weak. The Varani are plotting, and they will act. She spends most of her time in the embassy, but in the evenings, she enjoys a leisurely stroll. Goodbye.
Hey.
There's always a festival. Ambassador Keen's fury knows no end. Be careful.
Presenting the blade in the shadow, His Grace the Dark Hunter.
The House of Ballads must have taught you courtly manners, but not enough to keep you from interrupting. What is it, Your Grace? I am not petty, but I have limits, as do we all. I know I should lead the formation because of my position, but other, more tender individuals will insist otherwise. Whatever you do, do not make me walk behind the High Fae Mage Goronet. How shall I put this? He has an odor. If you value this position, you will make sure Lord Setter is not behind Huntress Hartwin. She finds him despicable, as do I. My only request is that Lord Goronet follow far behind me. He and his stink belong together. Of course. But see that it doesn't happen again.
I am at your service. This is the trellis, gateway to the Court of Summer and His Excellency the High King.
Are you supposed to be up here? The trellis is for those of high esteem and importance.
Lady Hartran waits and waits, but will the High King ever see her? That's the question. They have a history, you know. You feel it, don't you? Anyone intimate with the ways of magic can detect the waning current. You're like me, Your Grace. You see the end. Is this how it happened at the House of Ballads? Did Hallam foresee this slow decay? I had a feeling he did. As it is in every season, this family of Summer Fae has communed at the feet of its greatest leader, the High King Tatarian. The Western Faelands are our domain. Every season, one is chosen to attend the font's magical flow, to act as ambassador. I'm the only Fae to have held the position more than once. I feel the strength of the currents. They wash through me. They rise up and overflow. However, their power weakens. Their cool waters recede. It has been located here for many of your generations, what we call seasons. Only in recent times has it been shaped to resemble one of your mortal cities. The Summer Court resides on the highest terrace, far above the rest of us, as it should be. It is the of origin, the land of Ashara. Without its constant flow, our kind would dry up like leaves and vanish. While wise and powerful, he's also brash and narrow, a sliver of light in a world so dark that most of us are blind. His inaction is no match for mortal ambition. Most mortals know nothing of what lies beyond the veil. The magical realm of Ashara. It is a mystery even to us, as we departed its shores many seasons ago. Of the gardens of Issa? Of the Summer Court? Why, this crystal war may be the end of all Fae. I know because I am Nomeron, master of the font, the wellspring of all Summer Court magic. I've seen it flow at its highest, but I've never seen it so dry. Something must be done before all this city withers into nothingness. The font is the source of all Summer Court magic. It has flowed through this mountainside since our kind sprang up from the dirt. That flow has waned in recent days. It's unnatural, even as the magic in the world grows. The Fae, it seems, will wither. The font's flow is controlled from the Lyceum Grove down below. We must open the root system and allow more water through. However, the magic that regulates this flow can only be used by some. It's protected by a ward known as the Waterlock. It can only be opened by one who carries drops from each of the 5 sacred pools surrounding Issa. Collect these drops, and you can break the Waterlock. The sacred pools are the collection points for the font's yield. Together, they cradle the gardens of Issa. Keep it safe, powerful and hidden. You will find 2 of the pools below in the gardens themselves, one near the Ballad Sanctuary and one in the Court of Summer itself. Collect water from each of the 5 sacred pools, and then go to the Lyceum Grove. This is where the roots can be opened to regulate the font's flow. Goodbye.
I am the great huntress Hartwan, and you are not allowed on the trellis. What brings you here, beautiful? How quaint. Well, I am the most respected and most deserved to lead. Besides, I detest that harlot, Warlord Winry. So it is only right I meet the High King before her. Every one of our kind has a gift, they say, a role in the telling. Mine is to seek harmony with nature by keeping the wild fae under control. I am the Reaper. Most of my seasons are spent in the shadows of the canopy, tracking my prey. The trellis was created as common ground where the members of the great houses may meet to share knowledge and search for answers. However, it's not been the same since the House of Valor fell and the House of Seasons was deserted. And I always thought that nothing changes. The House of Seasons was where those in tune with the Great Cycle went to understand its many mysteries. But the Great House now stands empty, its occupants gone. King Titarian will not speak of it, but I know something has happened. Whatever it is, the signs are ominous. Growth is violent, and nothing can reach fruition without surviving conflict. That is nature's way. Our House of Valor celebrated that conflict. Now, however, this great house has fallen to mortals such as you. That is why this sanctuary has withered and faded. The magic is gone. I have come to the gardens of Issa to report the decay of wild fae. They are disappearing, and the king must be informed. Either they are vanishing due to the decline in fae magic, or someone is hunting them. It's my duty to discover which story is true. Goodbye.
A mortal here?
Welcome. Oh, you took me by surprise. I'm not accustomed to mortals on the trellis. Please, enter. I am Lord Saramar, the High Lore Sage of Issa. I am here to answer all questions regarding the House of Ballads and the House of Valor. We are the children of the fields and fountains, a fey body filled with a deep breath of magic. All that you see around you is ours. For many seasons we lived in these forests and canyons alone, distrusting, apart. But once we felt the call to join together, we became the Seelie. By choosing to lead the Summer Fae, Titarian is eternally linked to our fortunes. Both day and night feel his heart sink at the sight of his sunrise. When our seasons end, Titarian will be the first to enter the long winter. It is meant exclusively for those close to the Summer Court, or the ambassador who wishes an audience with the High King. Our most honourable institutions reside on the Trellis, including the House of Ballad Sanctuary and what was once the House of Valor Sanctuary. It was one of the Fae's great houses until its leader was challenged and beaten, and the magic faded under the mortals' leadership. Now even the sanctuary here on the Trellis is wilted and closed as a result of our great loss. Or perhaps it's a sign of something darker. This sanctuary is where the knights of our most prestigious house stay when visiting the Court of Summer. I act as their humble scribe and servant. All Summer Fae clutch the glory of the House of Ballads to its collective breast, knowing that the deeds of one are indeed the deeds of all. May good fortune follow.
May the stone sing your song to the ages. Olaine sought to bring the light of truth, to save a village plagued, to find a cure for them. Her quest, the Maid of Windermere, her test. Once the ill were brought to health, and the villain had fallen by, good Olaine returned to mortal ground and gifted them with magic found.
Welcome. Yes?
So, you're done. A right group of snakes, eh? So, any insight into how I should present them so as not to tug their writhing tails? It's good that someone does. Go on. Let's line up these backstabbing serpents. Yes, yes. All right. Next. Of course. And then? Yes, yes. Sorry, friend. It looks like you failed. I don't think they'd be too pleased with that order. Farewell.